Welcome everybody here to what is a Dota 2 Showmatch. Myself, Toby Wakadobi, being joined by Slash. That's right, the man of the moment. He was the man of the international. He is back here again to join me here for what is a little bit of an interesting mix-up. We couldn't really decide on who the hell was actually going to play. In the end, we found TMOG, who actually stands for the mix of gods, and going up against actually our joinDOTA boys, so led by Synderen and a couple of other people joining in. So Sexy Bamboo, he joins us on the live stream all the time, and he'll be joining us in the game. But of course, I need to introduce, I did already, but he needs to be secondly introduced because he's just doubly that good. Slash man, welcome to the stream.
All right, thank you very much, Toby. Yes, it's a real pleasure actually casting once again, and it's brilliant that we have a mix of people that we always see contributing to the community quite a lot. Dutch Freak obviously is a very, very well known in the scene. Lucky One, I believe, he's a German dude. I forgot which team he was supposed to be playing. Well, he's still playing for, right, in terms of Dota 1 teams. Will, I don't know him. I've seen him around quite a lot of times, but I'm currently, it's also not springing to my mind. TMOG, I have no idea who they are. But actually their captain, who's in the drafting state at the moment, is Mogolik. He's I've seen him quite a few times. I believe he's Scandinavian, and should be playing for one of their teams as well.
Yeah, the Dota team is actually a bit of a compilation. I really love the fact that we're actually going to have them on one of these show matches. They're a team that have only just formed inside the Dota 2 beta. Just a couple of friends who managed to get some keys together and just start playing. And that's what we're all about. It's all about the fun and playing with your friends. For all those people out there who decide, let's go play Dota 2, I'm only by myself, this is going to be pretty depressing. And it can be. So find yourself some friends, and that's the best way to actually play. Obviously, it's going to be a little bit more easier once you actually have more people with access to the beta. That way, more of your friends will be able to join you. But for the moment, it's still pretty restricted. Unless you're lucky enough to win a Dota 2 beta key. At which point, props to you. In the meantime, though, I will also just remind everybody that we're actually not going to go massively technical into a lot of these, into this broadcast. It's all about having a little bit of fun and also just educating a lot of people on what each hero actually is. So, Slash, I don't think you've actually been involved in one of these guys yet, so I'm going to let you actually describe up the heroes who are currently being picked up.
Yeah, basically, we always start out with a banning phase, and since only, it's actually 49 heroes now. Compared to the 46 at the International. Juggernaut, Conquer, as well as Bloodseeker got implemented as well. So you have we've extended the pool a little bit, but it's still less than half of the original Dota 1 pool. So a lot of their common counters and even top pick, top bans that we're used to be seeing in Dota 1 tournaments do not appear here at all, such as Invoker, Cidabear, Broodmother, and Consorts. So basically, the bans from both sides coming out, they're all being very, very powerful heroes, very powerful picks during the International. Profit for his global presence, and one I would actually add is Toby's trademark hero already.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. It is easy to play as long as you don't gank, which actually makes him completely pointless in playing. But that's not the point.
Yeah, it was actually a fairly nice way of putting it. But Toby always goes for the same build. I think we should put it out for all the viewers tuning in as well, which is Hand of Midas, I believe. You start with an Ultimate, Hand of Midas, and then turn into a Desolator if Toby just wants to go killing stuff, or Aghanim if he still wants to keep farming minute 60.
It's a good way of playing him, man. Or you can try the Crit Prophet. That's the cool thing about the world of Dota. You can try many different builds on many different heroes. Sometimes it doesn't fit at all into the meta game, and it's completely moronic to do what you do. And I definitely vouch for a couple of things that I do for that. But it's always fun to try something new, even though a hero, and it's a hero dynamic as Prophet. That's why a lot of people like to remove him. He can play ganking, he can play pushing, he can play farming. It depends how you want him to go and how you want to work with the team, and that's the cool thing. But we will actually start running through the heroes who have been picked up. So we actually end our first stage of the draft, which is after both teams have banned out 2 heroes, then both teams have picked up 3 heroes. That's when we go into the next stage of bans. As you can see, straight down the middle of your screen, which is, well, around there, that side-ish, around there, down the middle. And you can see who's actually banning and picking. So let's look through the dire first. We'll come up with Lich. Lich being a fantastic hero, can go side lane solo or can support the big hard carry if they actually run a melee in the mid or basically on the top as well. It all will depend for them. He's a great support for the main reason he actually can sacrifice creep, so removing off the XP, but not just removing off the XP, removing out the pushing power of that creep wave. So sacrifice the creep, pulls the creep wave back, and then you can turn that, because when you sacrifice the creep, you get mana for that, and you can actually just turn it into a Frost Blast and then use it as harassment at the same time. Big ultimate as well, you'd be looking out for that one. Big bouncing stun, not bouncing stun, bouncing damage ball. It's basically known as our Nova. If my brain, I apologize too, guys. I have been sick the last couple of days, so my brain not 100%. It's running at 99.9 recurring, of course. Yeah. But Lich, fantastic ultimate. Great during team fights, but always got to be careful when he pops it off. If there's too many units there, it'll bounce off onto units which he does not want to damage. He wants it to focus on the heroes. We'll look at Mirana, a hero who was made very, very famous by Havorst, and a man who has actually now created his own team, which if I remember correctly, they came through third in the recent ICS tournament. But yes, Mirana, fantastic hero. Still debatable at the moment. There's been some controversy about it. Not really. We've just been having a conversation. If it's actually a semi-carry or a hard carry, it always depends on the way Mirana's actually plays. She's known to the world as a semi-carry and has great initiation through her arrow. The longer the range, the greater the duration of stun if it actually hits. Damage is still the same and it will scale up with the levels. Also has Starfall, so basically stars fall from around her and she gets herself in a position to actually let that one off with her leap ability. So she can leap in whatever direction she's actually facing. It's not like the anti-mage blink where it can go in any direction. It's actually a leap in a certain direction. Also gives you as well as whoever you land next to a little bit of extra movement speed to get back out again. Enchantress is the third hero who is a neutral hero. So also a big damage dealer on later with the imps. Slash will want to correct me and say the correct name of her ultimate.
Impetus, you mean?
Impetus. I call it imps because I really fear I'm going to say a different word. But Max...
But you also say Shuki, so...
Shuki is fair enough, man, and imps work. Further you actually run away, when she actually casts it, basically throws a big imp, impetus, which looks like a big spear. And the further you actually run, the more damage it does do. There is a cap to the amount of damage it can do, but really it's great for damaging down those big, like hard to kill off heroes. She also has the ability to actually turn creeps to her will. It is timed, unlike the hero we see on the Radiant Chen. So we'll see the two of them actually just trading off because they can steal each other's neutrals. They actually basically control the neutral and use it as an extra minion is the best way of putting it. We also see Titan coming up from the Dire. Great ultimate, which is the Ravage, which is big AoE stun. You'll see that one coming up. Gush, also a bit of a slow, bit of negative armor. Helps with the early ganks. Only get 2 of those guys off before you run out of your mana, because he is a strength hero, so the mana pool is pretty low. But he's also a big tanky guy through the Kraken shell. Also has the Anchor Smash just up his sleeve in case in troubles. And Slider's going to cap off our Dire lineup. And he is also, again, another negative armor kind of guy, and that's done through his amplified damage, which is cast on a hero, gives out vision around that hero, and which basically makes it a lot easier to actually chase down people who actually run around invisible. So not too shabby for that one, but there is no real Weaver or anything like that on their lineup, so they're not going to help him with that. But it's great for initiation, can actually sprint himself in, and then Slider Crush, or Slytherin Crush, I think it was actually called. And that stuns everything around him in an AoE area, and he can have fun from that. Also has a bash ability up his sleeve too. And now it's time for Slash to actually talk, because I ran through that team. He can run through the Radiant for you.
That I can do as well. You already mentioned Chen. First pick there. I'm not quite sure who's going to play Chen in that lineup. I believe there are a lot of players who are proficient with playing Chen in this player lineup. But Enchantress is also one of the counterpicks to Chen, because her enchant ability has less cooldown than Chen's Persuasion, Holy Persuasion.
Mm-hmm.
And Vengeful Spirit, she's got a new model, so she actually looks resembles the Dota 1 model a little bit more. Some people were also complaining about her animation not being visible enough. So Vengeful Spirit, brilliant support here. And then Shadow Fiend is being picked up there. Shadow Fiend is also, he's got a little bit of a change in model, but nothing much. But still, a lot of people have been complaining about Shadow Fiend just not being the same as in Dota 1. Very difficult to play. And yeah, which leaves us with Clockwork Goblin also being picked up. A terrific sideline solo hero and absolutely amazing for initiation. And the last pick, Pudge, the Butcher, and it is our beloved joinDOTA Syndrome playing him indeed on the bot lane, being supported instead of going solo mid because he's leaving SF to do so. Vila playing the SF. And to Pudge, I think he does not need any introduction. Also, since we've seen also Navi running him in a lot of the games and during the international. Pudge is very, very powerful in this version, the version being Dota 2 basically, because there are a lot of heroes he can instantly kill there, and a lot of squishies such as Enchantress, Lich, Mirana, all those he can instantly hook. And interesting to see how what Syndrome will do with his hooks.
It is interesting that you see Syndrome playing as the Pudge. Generally, he does like to play the initiation, but he's also great with the support. We saw Sexy Bamboo, if you're tuning in last night, playing in one of the show matches from them when we had Sweden going up against Norway. And obviously, Sexy Bamboo was a stand-in for one of the teams. But his Pudge was amazing for some of those hooks. So we'll see if we can replicate the same sort of form of awesomeness. I'm
sort of surprised that I'm seeing Bamboo playing Vengeful Spirit here. I thought he would take up a little bit more. I hate to use the word, but responsibility maybe. But because for such a high school player, sometimes you would like to run a position higher up. And so let's run through the lanes. As already mentioned, Syndrome's Pudge is going to be supported on the bot lane by Bamboo's Vengeful Spirit, and indeed Lich, being played by TMOG's and Nuki. Is going to be the silent solo there, so he's not going to have an easy time. Chen obviously going to be in the neutrals, he's not powerful on him at all. Mirana going up against Shadow Fiend in the mid. TMOG's Hicks playing Mirana.
So we're going to see our first initiation on top. Gush will come out from smuggling, already picking up a Dark Troll Warlord, allows him to actually have the net ability, but unable to get the kill on Dutch.
Player, but he was doing a good job, but I'm just going to call him Adua, if it's easier. Kenzu is going to play the Slithering Slaughter, and Smolgulok, the captain, and Drofter playing the Tidehunter. I do apologize to all the Scandinavian, Swedish, whatever boys that corrected me. I have no idea how to pronounce that name.
I was calling it smuggling. I like smuggling. Smuggling. Yeah. We're going to call him Small. Smog. Small. Small is good. Small is good. We'll go with Small, man. We'll go with Small. Can't pronounce the entire thing together. That's impossible.
Right.
Nice hook there by Sin. Already actually trying to initiate a little bit more on Lich. Actually going to dive this tower with a right. There should be first blood. Not being missed tonight. Yay. And that's Lich going down. It's always hard to go up against a Pudge lane.
It's always difficult because once your hook is such a squishy hero like Lich, Pudge is just going to stay near. He doesn't need to hit you at all. He just rots next to you. And since he's got far more HP, not only because he's a strength hero, but also because he's already damaged you enough with hook, that is normally spelled to death. Nice arrow initiation trying there on mid lane against Via, as Tidehunter's coming in for the gank, but just missed there. And good sidestepping.
Yeah, the arrow's not the easiest thing to actually hit, and if you're actually trying to play Mirana as a first hero you've ever played with, always just try it around. It's one of those things where you need to actually have the vision to try and hit off that arrow, and you've also got to try and get the arrow to fly where the opponent doesn't actually have vision. The easy way for Shadow Fiend to avoid that was the arrow flew right next to his creep wave, so he actually had a fair amount of time to actually see that coming, and that's why we saw him avoid it.
It's always difficult to... Normally, you would like to use the arrow as a follow-up, basically.
Oh, Chen and Bamboo. We're going to have initiation on the mid. Arrow at close range, making sure it actually hits. And still the Gush going out from Small. But they want to try and get a little bit of a revenge kill right now. Even though he has that DD rune, Sexy Bamboo will hold him in place, so he can't even attack. And Mirana will fall back. So it's still a trade-off, but a tie for an SF. Never a fantastic trade.
It's not fantastic there. So it was an important gank to kill that SF. They did not have vision there. I'm kind of looking at the ward placement. There's one very offensive ward on the ward lane for Syndrome trying to hook Lich if he's coming close, and one defensive one, but it was on the wrong side basically because Titan was coming in from bot lane.
Yeah, there's just, it's always that fun times, like you always see, gang, and I want to try and initiate right now, but you're never quite sure if you're actually going to manage to achieve it or not. Like, it's all about timing and position, and sometimes it comes down to a little bit of luck, but there's also a lot of prep that will go into it. Sexy Bamboo wants to initiate here on the mid, but he doesn't realize he's been spotted out by Tide as well as by Enchantress, actually landing that stun on Mirana. Mirana has no mana for an arrow right now, so Sexy Bamboo is just going to stall them up right now, running into the trees. He was running himself into a corner. There's nothing he could have done right then. So
yeah,
in
it was
the end,
basically being gushed by Titanhunter and could have been continuously being attacked by Mirana. So that was spot that, which puts the scoreboard back to 2-2. If we look at the scoreboard in terms for creep stats, it's actually Kanzu Slada currently leading it with 20-5. And on the Sentinel side, we've got 3 heroes farming. Chen in the woods, Shadowfiend on mid, and Pudge on bot lane. While they only on the Dire, they only have another Enchantress who's fine, because Lich is basically not having any fun whatsoever. And interesting to see also Mirana only 5 for 6. That's definitely not something you want to have.
Nah, it's actually really painful for them right now. The most farmed heroes is that Slada, 23 for 5. Yeah, he's going to get a long way up. Also want to remind everybody too, there seems to be actually a couple of issues with the European servers for O3D TV tonight. So there are some spikes for everybody. That's why we're actually now streaming out to America and then back again. So the lag for all those European viewers out there, it does cause you off a little bit of troubles, but hopefully it won't last too long. And O3D TV will be right on top of it sometime soon.
Bot lane, they're going to dive. They're definitely going to dive. It's an 100% hook there with Bamboo's initiation and easy kill there for the Pudge.
It's very easy actually to land that hook. Like you can see some epic hooks when heroes are actually moving, but when you actually have that initial stun, that setup stun, then yeah, you'll hit every single time.
And looks like Dutch Freak got ulti up by Slaughter and sees a Tidehunter as well. Both can't kill each other, so nothing really special. Clock just trying to slow them down because Enchantress is coming in there. It was a big Satya creep, trying to push the tower a little bit.
Yeah, it's pretty hard to actually stop an Enchantress when she pushes. It's the reason why a lot of people do like Chen. And so you see up for a mid setup. Villa's actually a little bit of trouble. Good leap there by Mirana. Manages to avoid the magic missile stun there of Vengeful Spirit. One raise is not going to be enough to kill off the Mirana, and she will fall back again.
That's going to be dangerous because Tidehunter is currently standing next to an invisibility rune there. But he's going to leave it for Mirana to bottle up. Might think of going once again because Tidehunter's got enough mana for another gush.
Invisibility.
Yeah, Mirana needs enough mana for an arrow as well as a leap and possibly a starfall. If he can combine all those together, then Shadowfiend will look very, very nice. Go Shadowfiend at the moment. I love the vision. No, arrow, it does actually hit. It goes straight on it. Gush will now follow. Starfall will come down as well. They are in range of the tower, try and take this one up, but there's still enough damage there by Tidehunter, who throws out the Anchor Smash to finish off the SF in the mid. And then bottom lane also having a little bit of fun. Once again, Lich just getting dominated up there by Cinderin on the bottom lane with the support from Chen as well as Vengeful Spirit.
Well, it is certainly a good thing to have a kill lead there, but still SF is a crucial hero, so he should not die too much. But he's already died 2 times and not getting any kills or assists in return. And
that does become a bit of a...
Using the time where Lich is actually not there to push a little bit. And a very, very bad glyph they're firing off. The creep, they were not even attacking the tower, so they do not have the glyph to count on. That is the Dire side. So they should be in a very, very easy tower there. With,
it should be, unless Lich can get down there and actually harass them back. Nah, Creepwave will come in.
Creepwave coming in, and Pudge is also waiting there. So this is going to be a very easy tower. Pudge already completed his Vanguard, so he can ramble in quite a bit. And it does not look that they want to stop, because they have a catapult there. Lucky one's Chen also converting a Scourge creep.
Oh, Lich stunned, set up, Hawk, and then rot to death.
He doesn't even need to use the ultimate. Actually, he didn't even have mana for it.
Yeah, he hasn't actually even leveled up ultimate. Actually, no, yeah, he's put one in. He's put one in ultimate.
He's put one level in it, yeah.
Yeah. I was thinking for a moment there he put 4 in Hawk as well as 3 in Rot. I'm like, well, hey. As ultimate for Pudge is one of the best combos you can ever pull off if you want to try and shut down a hero.
That's correct. And although Slaughter's got a little bit more farm, Cinder and Pudge is already 4 for 0. So Slaughter does not have his Vanguard up yet.
Yeah, it's always about the balance. Like, you can farm up as much as you want to, but You got to find that balance between push, farm, and kills.
Currently, is looking fairly good there for our Radiant side, because Sind is also not far off. He's got 37 for 10, and also got a tower gold to count on there, while the opposing Mirana's only got 23. She got 1 kill and assisted in 2 kills on the SF, but the SF is still out farming her by a large margin.
Synderen almost getting himself caught out there in that bottom lane. One creep managed to block him inside the tree. Synderen still wants to go this, but doesn't realize Mirana's now down here. Will pop the ulti on Lich, but the close range arrow will actually get the kill there. So Synderen just being a little bit too overconfident. The howl! Oh, Sexy Bamboo. The wave of terror deals a little bit of damage. He's got it up at level 3, and it was enough to kill off the retreating Lich.
Interesting to see also, he's going for, Sexy Batman going for a different skill, but they're on bench for Spirit.
Wow, does everybody want to initiate right now? Chen, dude, don't. Oh, dead. Nailed, 3 heroes there. Once again, SF now going to come up. Initial stun.
Can he get the second one out? But nice use of the Satya, the good micro by Lucky One who's already died. And with some consolation also coming in, and this should spell the end of the Tidehunter.
And they might not want to end here. Mirana still wants to get out, but VS swapping back. Trying to actually force the leap out from Mirana. In the end, just does it with 3 normal attacks and finishes off the retreating Mirana. She kind of wanted him to actually leap forward after that swap. That way SF would have been in great position for a race. Still Lich hanging around. As she popping the ulti at close range, she only does actually bounce on the Dutch Freak there. And then the first stun goes. Cogs will hold him in place. VS will actually, again, let off another howl. And then Enchantress will come in looking for a kill here on Sexy Bamboo, so he's got to be very, very smart with his maneuvers. Slider's still moving around right now, and he will actually die. Gush is already done, trying to munch his way through the trees, but it will be the crush out from Slider that finishes him off.
They wouldn't want Slider to get the kill there. Still a little bit over the top. I'm not quite sure why Chen used ulti, because it was basically wasted. Maybe they were pushing the mid as well. Arrow flying out but not hitting anything. Shadowfink in the last hit, very important. They're forcing the lead, but the hook just misses.
Yeah, also Arcane boots up there on Pudge, so even after popping off that hook, pops off the Arcane. Gives the mana back to SF for Razors, gives mana back for him for more hooks as well. 140 mana for every single hook if you want to keep on popping them off. 650 mana pool is not a lot. Goes for another one there.
Hook's hooking his own creep. He was basically thinking that after, well, what was Chen doing there? It's very, very dangerous, but his creeps. 1 centaur is going to be enough there to stall them. But Enchant actually turns the table on him and converts it to her side.
Yeah.
And Chen does the same.
It's always a swap, man. It's always a swap. The centaur does die. Punch goes for a Raw Hawk. Only just short of the Mirana.
Arcane Boots popping up once again. Sexy Bamboo, as already mentioned, he's not leveling up his stun. He's leaving it as a disable for level 1, probably because he thinks he will not have the mana to support it otherwise. And Wave of Terror to be max is also a very, very good thing there, especially against their lineup.
And the Wave of Terror.
Sexy Bamboo should actually be careful. He's caught.
Dutch actually launches himself in with his ultimate down towards Mirana. The mini Cogstar should be enough. Arrow flies off, trying to get a lucky hit there on Bamboo. Not going to be enough. Pudge in the meantime managed to actually hook Enchantress in. But now he's got 4 heroes on him. Ravage will try and hold him in place as well. He gets a side stun there on Dutch Freak, who is retreating back out again. And Slider with that very, very fast run in gets pinned down by the Dark Troll Warlords as well as the Centaur there if they want it. Rocket still flying off. And actually, it's a smart play there by the Radiant. Just pushes them back. They lost off their Pudge. But the Dire are actually also pretty low on HP, so they didn't want to overextend themselves too much.
Yeah, Clock's got level 4 rocket, so that actually hurts quite a lot there. VS also placing another Observer Ward next to the Dire side. Lich, as you get spotted by the rocket, you should be careful. But Bamboo's not fast enough.
SF manages to actually pick off that top tower too, had himself a DD rune, and then Sexy Bamboo arrow will fly. The arrow does actually miss with the swap what he's setting up here. Dutch Freak wants a good cog. He's already got the mini stuns there. Lucky One wants to help. There goes the cog holding Enchanters in place. Rocket as well with the damage. They do get the kill. Synderen actually was killing off the Slider behind. There goes the Lich ulti. Forces the Chennial to go off to replace the life that was lost there by the Lich ultimate. Mirana comes back in against Synderen. He has his ultimate too. He's looking for somewhere. He's close enough. Hawk, in fact, doesn't even need to actually use his ultimate. It destroys off Lich before that. While Shadow Fiend picks off the Tidehunter. Hook's off cooldown in about 3 seconds. So Mirana's still going to be careful up there on that top lane.
And the people are just using the new map function to write a hate in it. And Toby just got a shout out. Wow.
I love it how you sound surprised about that, man. Oh, the pain. The pain.
Of me not getting a shout out. Oh.
Oh, yeah. Poor Slash. Shout out to Slash. Shout out to Slash.
Sid's still on top lane, though. He's waiting for someone
Hook!
to defend. Nice hook!
And ultimate and the rot. You won't be able to leap in time for that.
Yeah.
And even if Slider wanted to initiate just then, he realized the SF was still there. But he does actually have support. There's actually 4 people actually chasing him now.
Yeah, but they still lack that initiation if Slav doesn't get his dagger in time, and it currently does not look like it, because he doesn't have any gold.
Well, Slider has managed to find Dutch Freak, though. Gets himself a crush. Tight under, hanging on the wings right now. Enchantress also here, and there's 4 heroes from the Radiant here. And Dutch Freak able to get in closer, and Cinderin stealing the kill with a hook.
He still wanted that one. And Lich already also dying to double damage SF. And should be waiting for that one more hook to come on the Enchantress. I guess the Tide Hunter instead. He's happy with it too.
Unable to get it though. Good arrow flying out there to actually hold Cinderin in place. They might actually decide to go on this. Ravage will pop, and the Imp should actually be enough there by Enchantress. As I mentioned, they do a lot of damage. And it will be enough to bring down Dutch Freak, who was thinking about bringing down Tight Under. But in comes Villa, and he will get it with the last attack. No, he doesn't with that leap. He managed to actually avoid it. The bottle charge, I think, also helped out, leaping and bottle charging at the same time. So Villa unable to actually do it with the raise, and now a TP now coming in. The Imp's already flying out. There's a Slider crush, and Pudge actually hooking his teammate back out to safety. It won't be enough, though. In fact, Chen's going to do the best of it there, and actually calls him back out again with a Holy Persuasion. You can actually change creeps to go for your will, or basically pull another hero back.
Nice.
And there goes a Pudge hook. Ulti on Enchantress.
And SF is back in the mix.
Oh, look for the raise, look for the raise. Will there be an ultimate? There'll be a Howl of Terror from Sexy Bamboo to steal the last hit, but Sexy Bamboo does go down. Sexy Bamboo still trying to retrieve Villa up on the high ground, pops the ulti! Close range! It will be enough to actually deal a crap load of damage, but not enough to get a kill. Now they do get one. Clockwork Goblin gets the kill there on Slider, holding him inside the cogs. And Mirana pops off the ultimate, realizing, hang on, I do not want to be part of this. Let's retreat back out again. There's only 2 of us.
It still hurt Sin's patch quite a lot. He brought back in that game and died once again. So he's not going to have an item up, but enough consolation there because the SF is getting fat there. One more tower destroyed for the Radiant side.
Yeah, Radiant are really controlling this map very, very nicely. You don't really see a way that the die can really move out right now. You're completely right with the initiation being required. The initiation either will come from Mirana's arrow hitting nicely, but really the Radiant been sticking together pretty nicely for that as well. So it's got to come from Slider, catch somebody out, blink in, stun them straight away, and then just basically destroy them from that point. But got to pick them off one by one at this point. They really can't take the team fights. There's just too much. They're getting split up by Pudge. They get split up by Clockwork Goblin. The second he pops his cogs, everyone gets pushed back, and life just becomes very, very dangerous. Just now, Cinderin wants to initiate up on the top. There is, however, a Dire Ward there watching. So they do know if he's actually going to be there in range for a hook. He still probably won't actually stop him from doing that. The Rocket just giving out a little bit more vision on the back end, but they will actually let this tier 2 tower go. Hook flies, but with that vision, they know where it's going to come from. Mirana
gets the last hit with the double damage there. Fairly easy thing to do there.
Mirana was attempting that deny, but unable to do so. There's actually double arcane boots up now for the Radiant. It's on Clockwork as well as on Cinderin. The
Lucky one is also just pursuing one more creep to join the fight. And Cinderin camping there, waiting for somebody to defend the tower. Blind hook.
He had a little bit more vision there from the Howl of Terror, as well as
Clockwork Goblin's
yeah,
rocket.
Yeah, it's good. It's actually a good vision player. Now we see Vengeful Spirit, who's actually managed to buy up a 4-star by 17 minutes. Pretty impressive for a stick, 4-star boots as well as TP, and then also taking on the role of wards.
Wow, you can't look in the scoreboard. Sexy Bamboo's got 11 assists.
He is a very aggressive player. 11 assists, 4 kills, so he's been involved in majority of it. And Hawk goes! It grabs Slider, their initiation. The oldie will hold him in place for the moment. Doesn't have time to get a gush out. A good Lich ultimate combination there with the Tide Ravage. Did a lot of damage towards Pudge, but it was not enough. Villa then popping his ultimate on the high ground in the form of that BKB, which is already done. Gets a double kill for Chen, in fact. He was using his creeps as well as, of course, himself to get those kills off, and that will be the top tower going down.
Yeah, and even TMOG already calling best of 3 or not.
We can run a best of 3. Arrow flies, but 4 staff. SF is luckily facing the right direction, so he does get pushed back out again.
Sinfin hooking Dutch Freak back again. For some goddamn reason. Maybe he wants to focus on the tower instead. Sexy Bama taking a lot of damage there.
But he's still got a lot of damage himself.
Yeah. Mega kill, double kill for the gem once again. Tidehunter killing Vengeful Spirit. And also Pudge actually getting a double kill. They're just a buyback.
There's blood everywhere right now. Dutch Freak wants to get a little bit more right now. It can get on Tidehunter, but in the end, not possible. Lich and Ty go back to their tier 4 towers. They're pretty well defended right there. Chancellor actually has himself a bit of a creep wave, and there goes actually, is that a mech charge? Yeah, it's a full mech charge going off. Rocket pops off again, just checking out who's actually there. They want to claim off the barracks. The barracks is the main goal right now, always is in the world of Dota, and they should be able to claim it pretty easily.
He's back in the mix. They cannot defend it without Slaughter as well as Mirana. Mirana's actually back up again, but so does Region Humana before she comes out. And GG well played being called there. Early abandonment. And this is game 1 for our joinDOTA team.
Yeah, it is. Game 1 went pretty well. Could actually just look at it in reflection. Syndrome with a lot of kills in that bottom lane. They really shut down Lich. A lot of people do like to run that Lich side solo because they can control the lane. The problem is, though, it only works up against heroes who are pretty passive, like Anti-Mage, who wants to get farmed, doesn't want to initiate. But when you got a Pudge down there and a very aggressive Vengeful Spirit, it's not really a fun place to actually be. So Lich was not enough for that bottom lane. And then Shadow Fiend, even with those 2 deaths early on in the piece, it was 119 for 9 is actually what he got for his CS. And that was going up against them in solo. And really, they got shut down pretty badly. A lot of that farm would have come from SF a little bit later. But that does give us our final animation for our end stat screen, which we always love to pop up, Sin. Oh god, didn't do that.
You did it again.
I did it. It happens, man. It happens. It happens. But we will be back here. We'll see if we'll actually have another game of this. In the meantime, though, thank you very much for actually tuning in. This is the Dota 2 show matches. It means we at least have something for you guys on the VODs out there to actually check out from the world of Dota 2. So stay tuned. We'll be back here with more in just a moment.